like a prostitute, sort of.
Day after day.
And he pulled down my underwear.
Detail after graphic detail.
He called me a bitch, and he kicked me in the ribs.
But on the 7th day, Jodi Arias' testimony wasn't just sex and violence. It was finally what everyone had waited for. Her killing of Travis Alexander.
Do you remember about what time you arrived in Mesa?
It was still dark, but it was early morning, maybe around 4-ish.
She took the jury through her memory of the rest of that fateful day, how Travis snapped photos of her, provocative and intimate.
What do you think about when you see that picture?
What a stupid idiot I was.
Why did you participate?
He got a new camera that he was excited about, and he wanted to play around with it.
Jodi said later that afternoon they were in Travis's home office when he asked for copies of their vacation photos that she had on CDs.
I got the CDs out. They looked pretty scratched, which he noticed and got upset about because it was my fault that they were scratched. Somehow he was able to bring up the CD on his screen, and most of the images came up as little gray squares instead of photos. And I went to walk over to him to rub his back or something, just to make sure he was okay, and let him know that I still had the pictures on my other drive. I was gonna apologize, and he stood up, and the chair got pushed to the side, and he spun me around and bent me over the desk and pressed up against me.
At that point in time, did you want to have sex with Mr. Alexander?
Well, yeah, actually I did. It was better than him getting mad. I was actually relieved.
Well, she is claiming that, number one, she just wanted to please him. Because if I keep him happy, then he's not mad. If he gets mad at me, then he lashes out and he gets really, really angry. And then if Travis did get angry, I would have sex with him, and then he would turn back into the nice Travis.
After having sex, Jodi said that she agreed to take photos of Travis in the shower with his new camera. According to Jodi, it would lead to a fatal altercation.
As I moved the camera, it slipped out of my hand, and it landed on the mat, and then it rolled onto the tile.
So what happens after you drop the camera?
At that point, Travis flipped out again. He stood up and he stepped out of the shower and he picked me up as he was screaming that I was a stupid idiot. And he body slammed me again on the tile. He told me that a 5-year-old can hold a camera better than I can. When I hit the tile, I rolled over on the side and started running down the hallway. So I ran into the closet and I slammed the door. And as soon as I got in there and began to run, I remembered where he kept a gun.
There is zero evidence, independent evidence other than words out of Jodi Arias' mouth that establish Travis Alexander as a gun owner. There is none.
I grabbed the gun. I ran out of the closet. He was chasing me. I turned around and we were in the middle of the bathroom. I pointed it at him with both of my hands. I thought that would stop him. If someone were pointing a gun at me, I would stop. But he just kept running. He got like a linebacker. He got kind of low and grabbed my waist. But before he did that, as he was lunging at me, the gun went off.
And the angle of the wound, the bullet is here and it lodges in his left cheek. It might have bounced around in his head, it might have gone down straight, it doesn't exit. So she's over him.
And even know that I shot him. It just went off, and he lunged at me, and we fell really hard against the tile toward the other wall. So he's grabbing at my clothes, and I got up, and he's just screaming angry.
The medical examiner testified that the gunshot wound would have debilitated Travis Alexander if it happened first, but he believes it happened after he was already dead. So, if it happened first, according to the expert, the medical examiner, Travis Alexander wouldn't have been able to do anything, let alone chase Jodi Arias around the house like she claims.
When Travis's body was found in the shower, there was only one bullet wound, but almost 30 knife wounds, and he'd nearly been decapitated. An unforgettable scene that Jodi claims she doesn't remember.
Do you remember stabbing Travis Alexander?
I have no memory of stabbing him. I was in the bathroom. I remember dropping the knife, and it clanged to the tile. It made a big noise. And I just remember screaming. I don't remember anything after that. There's a lot of that day that I don't remember. There are a lot of gaps. Like, I don't know if I blacked out or what. There's a huge gap.
Wow. Next thing she knows, she's in the desert driving, and she's got blood on her hands. Is it her blood or is it Travis's blood? Does she know what she did? She thinks she knows what she did. She throws the gun away in the desert. She doesn't say where. And then she stops to clean up her hands, and she realizes she did something wrong, and her life is probably over, and she starts covering her tracks. This is her story.
You've said that many times.
Coming up, the prosecutor goes on the attack.
Can you imagine how much it must have hurt Mr. Alexander when you stuck that knife right into his chest? That really must have hurt, right?
Argumentative.
Sustained.
Are you a medical doctor?
No, I'm not.
This is Maricopa County Prosecutor Juan Martinez.
You could tell us what you thought Dr. Horn said, right?
Yes,
And you told us what you thought he said, right?
I did.
Were you correct?
No, I was not.
Martinez is known for his ferocity in court.
He's got one speed, and it's pedal to the metal.
I mean, he doesn't take any BS from any witness, even his own. I mean, he started going after some of his own witnesses.
Like the lead detective in the Jodi Arias trial.
Did you talk to her in anticipation of that hearing?
Yes.
And did she give you any opinions that you incorporated, yes or no?
Yes, a few.
And still you went ahead with what you thought was your opinion, right?
Yes.
So it came as no surprise
Mr. Martinez, you may cross-examine the witness.
that he was on the attack from the very beginning of his questioning of Jodi Arias,
She's freaking messed up.
using her own hurtful words from earlier in the trial.
She's still so innocent. I think she's just stupid. I love the girl. She's my sister. But I honestly think she's a little bit dumb.
Throwing those words back in Jodi's face.
And that's a picture of you, correct?
Yes.
Right here. And the other one is a picture of your dumb sister, Angela, correct?
That's my sister. She's not dumb.
What do you think Juan Martinez thinks of Jodi Arias?
I think that Juan Martinez thinks Jodi Arias is an evil woman, sociopath, psychopath. I'm not sure what the diagnosis is, but this is a woman who should never walk the streets again.
You said that, right? What right do you have to do that? You seem to have a double standard here.
Martinez has been relentless in trying to unravel the story of Jodi, the story of an abuse victim that the defense had presented to the jury.
She claims that her disfigured ring finger on her left hand was caused by Travis Alexander in a domestic violence incident.
Could you hold up your hand for us so we could see?
She'd shown her still crooked finger to the jury, but Martinez confronted her with this picture, no bent finger, taken months after the alleged incident.
You don't have a bent finger here in Exhibit 453, do you?
My finger is bent there.
You're saying that your finger is bent there?
Yes.
Martinez was on a mission to expose what he presented as Jodi's litany of lies to friends, family, and police.
And so you were thinking more of yourself when you made this statement to this detective, right?
I'm not sure about that.
Well, other than you, who would be sure about your statements?
God?
Well, God's not here. We can't subpoena him, right?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Are you sure that we can't? Because it seems like you're leaving the door open for that.
So now it's almost like a dad having an argument with his teenage daughter, and the teenage daughter just won't answer the question, won't admit what dad knows.
That's not correct.
Well, that's what you said, though, right?
No, that's what you said.
And that's the dynamic in the courtroom, and it's absolutely fascinating.
Is that what you were doing when you were lying?
One of the things Juan Martinez wants to do is ask her questions about details. And she's afraid to give him details because she doesn't know what he has to contradict her. So we're hearing a lot of, I don't know, I don't remember, I'm not sure, I don't know, over and over again.
Did you or did you not indicate that you loved your mother? I'm not asking you if you love your mother. I'm asking you if you indicated it.
I don't remember.
Do you have problems with your memory, ma'am?
Sometimes.
And you can tell us, for example, what type of sex you had with Mr. Alexander many years ago, but you're having trouble telling us what you said a couple of days ago?
When I'm under stress, yeah. It affects my memory.
I thought you said the relationship with Mr. Alexander was very stressful.
Some of the sex wasn't.
Jodi pushed back and even blamed Martinez's in-your-face cross-examination for confusing her.
What factors influence your having a memory problem?
Usually when men like you are screaming at me or grilling me, or someone like Travis doing the same.
So that affects your memory problems, right?
It does. It makes my brain scramble.
She didn't fall apart on the stand. She didn't crumble.
No.
Until...
Take a look at it, please. Where were you taking the photographs when this happened? I want to see it on this exhibit.
Outside the shower.
Pardon?
Outside the shower.
Well, why don't you put a mark on there? Ma'am, were you crying when you were shooting him?
I don't remember.
Were you crying when you were stabbing him?
I don't remember.
How about when you cut his throat? Were you crying then?
I don't know.
So take a look then. And you're the one that did this, right?
Yes.
And you're the same individual that lied about all this, right?
Yes.
I think Martinez has her right where he wants her. He's got her on the witness stand. I mean, that's where he wants her. An opportunity to ask her anything he wants and get in front of the jury. Jodi Arias. Can you believe what she's saying? Can you believe what she's saying? He has her in a position where she can't be protected anymore. She has to answer his questions.
Isn't it true that the statements are different? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, they're different.
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
And with that, Prosecutor Juan Martinez abruptly ended his grilling and gripping cross-examination of Jodi Arias. But she's not done testifying.
This coming week, Jodi Arias is expected to be back on the witness stand answering questions from her attorneys as they try to repair any damage they think was caused by the prosecutor's withering cross-examination. Then it's the jury's turn because in Arizona, jurors are given the chance to question witnesses. That does it for this AC 360 special report. Thanks for watching.